Welcome Max Life customers. Hope you and your family are safe at your home. I, Sakshi, your nutritionist for the session, today will be discussing 3 topics: how to boost your immunity from the comfort of your home, how to boost your children's immune system, and what should be the diet that professionals working from home should follow. I hope you're taking notes for the session. Let's get started with your nutrition journey with Max Life powered by Anytime Fitness. So let's start with our first question: how to develop immunity from the comfort of your home. As we all know, in this COVID arena, we all need to have a better immune system. But immunity is generally identified with certain food groups and certain, habits. But that is not the truth. A proper lifestyle is the key. There is no shortcut to building immunity. So what is a healthy lifestyle? A healthy lifestyle is a combination of optimal nutrition and adequate physical activity. So we'll start talking about optimal nutrition and then we'll come to physical activity. So while you're eating, start having balanced and nutritious meals. What are balanced and nutritious meals? So a meal which has all the food groups in adequate amount is the balanced and nutritious meal. So start by balancing eating, incorporating fruits and vegetables in your diet, adequate amount of dairy in your diet. Try and incorporate whole pulses, whole wheat, stuff like quinoa, ragi, bajra in your diet, so that you get optimal nutrition from all the sources. Second is, you should start to increase the amount of fruit and vegetable intake in your diet. So whenever you're snacking in between, try to grab that fruit that is there rather than grabbing a piece of cookie or a piece of cake. Thirdly, you can also start incorporating reducing the amount of unhealthy food that is there in your diet. Unhealthy food is generally the food that is high in calories, high in fat and high in sugar intake. So these foods may be the ultra processed foods, something like Maggi, pasta, chips, and things which are high in sugar such as cookie, pieces of cake, etc. Try and reduce the intake of that, and again switch to healthier options. So for example, you want to eat that pasta today, so rather than eating pasta with a white sauce, go for a pasta salad. That is a good mix of all the fruits and all the vegetables, and you are reducing the amount of calorie intake also. So when we talk about immunity, there are certain foods which actually provide immunity, which are called the immunity boosters. Now these foods are high in antioxidants, vitamins and minerals. So some of the immunity boosters that you can incorporate in your diet are citrus fruits. So citrus fruits are high in antioxidants and vitamin C. So stuff like oranges, guava, amla, lemon, lychee, all these things are, if you incorporate, it will give you the benefit of immunity. Second is adding nuts and oil seeds. Nuts and oil seeds are healthy fats and oils, and they are high in vitamin E. Again, they will give you the benefit of immunity with protein and high fiber. Next, you can even add green leafy vegetables, and you can add yellow colored vegetables which are high in vitamin A. So add that broccoli, add that spinach, add those carrots in your sandwiches, salads, in your pastas, in your burgers, add that lettuce. Try and have as much fiber from these sources as you can in your daily diet. Second, I would also like to tell you that hydration is very important, because we are at home, in air conditioned environment. We might not see that hydration is being maintained. A minimum of 3 liters of water should be maintained throughout the day. That is a minimum. Just keep sipping on water. Don't gulp down water, just keep on sipping water. Keep it at your workstations, wherever you're working. Now, to again increase the immunity power of that water, try and infuse it with lemon, try and infuse it with mint, try and infuse it with cucumber, some watermelon wedges, which so that they are not even that much boring to drink, and it provides you the taste and flavor also with the benefit of immunity. Now let's talk about physical activity. Now when you are physically active, Ideally 30 minutes of aerobic exercises is what is required, with 15 minutes of stretches and 15 minutes of strength training. What happens is that whenever you are physically active, your immune system get boosted. The amount of lymphocytes and WBCs into the immune system gets boosted, which helps you to fight the infection. If you catch any infection, it will help you to fight the infection. Secondly, I know that overall physical activity nowadays have decreased because we all are working from home. So the sedentariness, just target the sedentariness. Don't let keep on taking those stretch breaks in between your work. Whenever you're taking after 2 hours, take a 15 minutes of stretch break, go for a walk, even if it's on your terrace or in your balcony, so so that you are maintaining that physical activity levels. Then add a household, take a task of a household chore by yourself. Help your mother, help your spouse, help your parents to get the work done, so that you are maintaining those physical activity levels throughout the day, because it will really impact your immunity. It will increase the muscle strength of the body and decrease the amount of fat. Since maintenance of healthy weight is very important in this scenario to build your immunity, it's very important that you are exercising properly at least for 30 minutes and you are eating healthy also. If your weight is a bit higher, then you need to have a low calorie diet and increase the physical activity. We always work on the principle of creating that energy deficit. So when you decrease the diet and increase the physical activity, you will start experiencing weight loss. And this is also beneficial for people who are having metabolic disorders like diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, who are also prone in this COVID. For if they catch COVID, the amount of morbidity and the severity of the disease is pretty high. So these people should also start reducing their weight, and again eating healthy and increasing the amount of physical activity is the key to this. So maintenance of a healthy weight with a high proportion of muscle and less amount of fat is what we require to build our immune systems. Third is adequate sleep and adequate routine. Since we all are in lockdown and we have to maintain physical confinement, we are not socializing that much. The amount of work that we are doing in our daily day has really reduced, and our pattern of sleeping and waking up has also is deviated. So whenever you make it a point that you have a proper sleep cycle and you are maintaining that routine. So if you ideally used to go off to sleep by 12, maintain that and maintain the morning pattern also. One very good trick that everybody follows is that they work out the first thing in the morning, which will again help you to get that system working. It will keep you activated throughout the day and it will keep you motivated to go by your day also. So sleep is very important, because when you sleep, your system rejuvenates, and the cytokines which will be helpful in fighting any infection, the amount of cytokinins in your body increases. The amount of wear and tear that you've gone throughout the day, that your body gets rest and that gets repaired. So make sure that you are completing your 6 to 8 hours of sleep every day, and you are able to maintain your immune system by sleeping also. Now let's just talk about stress. Because of the variability into the situation, we have seen that the amount of stress that is there is increasing, because we cannot go out and meet our friends. We don't have that normal schedules. We are also, some people might also be not in a very good position with respect to their work. Now they are confined to spaces, so we have also seen that the chances of anxiety, stress, depression, everything has increased in these COVID areas. So there is a lot of research which says that the amount of stress that is there has increased. So to curb down the stress, like a doctor's appointment, have a meditation appointment. You need to reduce the stress, because again, when you are stressed, the cortisol levels in the body increases. and the oxidative stress of the body increases. We need to identify the areas, the factors that lead to this stress. So if it is a work related something, or if it is family related something, you need to identify that stimuli and then change that stimuli. Don't go out and eat on that. So if there's a very big notion of stressful eating, so just don't go and grab that pizza if you're stressed. You don't go and grab that pasta if you're stressed. Rather go and deviate on different things, such as talking to a friend, going out for a walk, getting that stress session, seeing your favorite movie or the show. That is another strategy to maintain. If at all you can maintain proper meditation session and deep breathing session, that will be the best in this case, because it will help to maintain your cortisol and stress hormone levels, and it will boost your body to fight if there is any infection. Now these are the regular tips that will be required. Again, if people who are consuming alcohol, they need to moderate that. I would also like to say that people who are smoking, they also need to reduce the number of smokes per day, because smoking again will increase that oxidative distress and will reduce the immunity of the body. Now let's talk about our children. How can parents boost the immune system of the children? So one challenge that I basically see while when it comes to children is that they will not gravitate towards healthy hygiene practices, they will not gravitate towards eating healthy, they will not gravitate towards working out. So here the role of the parent is very important, to educate the child, to communicate with the child, and not to force the child to maintain a certain kind of lifestyle. They should communicate and understand what the child requires and try to incorporate all these healthy habits in that regime that the child already has. Now the first step that parents can do is talk about the social scenario and make them understand how important it is to frequently wash their hands, because the infection is basically transmitted through that. So proper hand washing is important, proper hygiene practices for the child is very important, that parents should notice. Secondly, the trick remains the same. They also need to eat healthy and they also need to work out. So the trick remains the same, but now the responsibility of the parent is much more, that how can they enforce the child to eat healthy, because the child will always gravitate towards their pizzas, pastas, burgers, anything that they like, and they will not for sure grab that salad bowl. But now the responsibility of the mother or the parent comes that they should incorporate all these things in the things that they like. So if you are making a patty for the burger, make the patty with soya, or if you are giving that pasta to that child, make it in red sauce, add a lot of vegetables in that, so that the child also likes it. The child is not thinking that the parents are forcing the child to eat something. Then also there is a system of bargain. You can always bargain. If you have given this to the child, you can say that now the child can have as a snack, a fruit as a snack. So the idea should be to maintain healthy lifestyle habits in the child by educating the child, by working with the child, rather than forcing the child to follow whatever the parent is saying. Now we also see that the regular play or the hobby class that the child was going, now they are not going, so the ultimate amount of physical activity that is there has reduced. So how can we incorporate that? One thing is the family support again will be important. The time that the child used to go to play, now you incorporate that as a physical activity session or a fitness session with the parents or with the spouses, where the child is also enjoying, you are also enjoying, and you are ensuring that this is a healthier lifestyle, and the whole family is trying to adapt that healthier lifestyle, and everybody is working towards a healthier lifestyle which will be sustainable even after COVID. Okay, so again, sleep is again another thing which is very important for the child, because the child had a routine, right? So the child used to go to the school, used to wake up at 7, go to the school, come back from the school, have a hobby class, have homework, go play out with the friends, and then they used to doze off after a hectic day. But now this is reduced, so it's very important for the parents to ensure proper timing. So making a schedule of throughout the day, that whatever the child is going, there is a fixed pattern, so that the child is also not distressed and the child is also not craving that play time or that school time or that hobby class time. So it's very important for the parent to ensure that all the habits that the child used to have are maintained. Now let's talk about eliminating sugary products. So children have this habit of gravitating towards sugary products such as candies, chocolates, something which is Coke. So all these things should be moderated for the kid. So the first strategy is to moderate all these things, and the second strategy will be to substitute all these things. So when you're moderating a Coke, so the first step will be, if the child is very fond of drinking Pepsi or Coke, so you start moderating, start putting a cap on the amount that the child is having for first, and then try and substitute that thing with something which is healthy, like a lemonade or a milkshake which is less in sugar, and or a smoothie which is less in sugar, so that you are not forcing the child and the child is also understanding with you. Then you should avoid giving fruit juice to the child if the child is not eating a fruit. The fruit is a more holistic thing. It has more fiber, roughage, nutrients, and all those properties are not there in the fruit juice. So try and incorporate as much as whole fruit into the diet rather than substituting it with the fruit juices in the diet. So I think I would like to add a quick tip in this, that whatever the child was eating before COVID, now you try and maintain it, but start reforming the recipes. So here the role of mother is very important, that she starts reforming the recipes towards healthier. So try and incorporate as much fruits and vegetables and whole grains such as quinoa, whole wheat, sprouts, you can add nuts and oil seeds. So when you add all these stuff, though the child feels that he's having the same thing, but it's not the same thing, it's way more nutritious. I think that will help the child's immunity also, and that will improve the acceptability of this new phase in the child's life also. Okay, so let's just start with our third topic, which is what diet should professionals who are working from home, what diet should they follow. So there is, again, as I've told you, there is a basic principle whenever you have to maintain your weight, or whenever you have to reduce your weight, is that the activity levels, the calorie that you burn should be more than the calorie that you eat. So whenever the calorie that you are eating is more than the calorie that you burn, then it will lead to weight gain. So again, in this situation, we are all sedentary and we haven't eaten that much of calorie. So we need to be very specific and very mindful about the amount of calories that we are taking in. We are working from home, physical activity is reduced, now it's time to go for a low calorie diet. Now there are a number of ways how we can go for a low calorie diet. Start by adding more salad into the diet rather than focusing on carbs. So if you used to have 2 chapatis and a bowl of sabzi and a bowl of curd, now have 1 chapati, add the salad before your meal, and that is the way how you will reduce the amount of calories per meal. Then also, second part is increase the amount of protein into the diet. So where do we get protein from? Now protein you can get from plant-based sources and animal-based sources. Plant-based sources are basically dals and pulses and everything. Then we have animal-based sources, which is dairy and lean sources. So rather than going for people who are non-vegetarian, rather than going for mutton and lamb and everything, go for seafood, prawns, fish, which is lean fishes, and chicken. So this way you are eating less fat in the same serving of protein, and there is the equal amount of protein. Then if we talk about plant-based protein, they are high in nutrients and fiber. Opt opt for more plant-based proteins. When we talk about proteins from sources of dairy, you go for, if you're taking milk, rather than taking full fat milk which has 6% of fat, go for double tone milk which has 0.5% of fat. So this way you're reducing the fat, but you're maintaining the quality of the diet over there. Again, as I've told you earlier, increasing fruits and vegetables into the diet will always help and will always maintain your immunity, and it will also reduce the amount of calories in the diet, and it will also provide you with the phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals which are required to maintain overall health as well. Again, hydration is another important factor. In this situation, we have always seen that there is no system throughout the day. So you're working also, you are working side by side, you're doing your household chores, which might lead to switching to a pattern where you are mixing up the breakfast, you're skipping the breakfast and mixing it up with the lunch as a brunch. Don't do that. Maintain your meal pattern and maintain 3 big meals and 2 small snacking meals. Do not skip your meals in between. Whenever you are snacking, snack on something which is healthy rather than snacking on something which is high in fat. So if you want to go for something like Manchurian and something like that, go for grilled paneer or grilled chicken rather than going for stuff like this. This will decrease the amount of calories also, and it will ensure that there is no high fat, high salt products into the diet, which will maintain your health also. Now second is you should also focus on regular exercises, which is again 30 minutes standard of aerobics and 15 minutes of strength or flexibility, whichever you like. But I would like to reinforce over here, do not jump start, do not just get into an exercise regime and leave it after 3, 4, 5 days, but rather do it progressively. Do it, if you can't do a 30-minute set right away, start with 15 and start building your capacity to increase that exercise pattern throughout your regime and stick to it. Another thing is, take some time out of your schedule, and you should know that 5 to 6 is my time for workout and it's me time, and I am not going to indulge in any calls from work or any other household chores, so that you are maintaining that regime. So this will really help you to maintain that regime. Also try and take up household chores, because the household chores will maintain overall activity, overall lifestyle. It will improve and overall activity throughout the day will increase. So washing the dishes or cleaning the car, this also adds up in the calories that you burn. So try and maintain the amount of physical activity by incorporating household chores. You can also take up any hobby like dancing, gardening, whatever you like, to again increase the amount of calories that you're burning throughout the day, because this will ultimately help you to reduce and maintain your weight to a healthy status, and it will also help you in providing optimal nutrition and also fight the immune system will also be strengthened to fight the body. Then again, smoking has to come down, and alcohol intake, because alcohol directly gets absorbed into the liver and changes into glycogen. So alcohol has to be in moderate amounts. You cannot have a diet and take the alcohol and equate the balance of calories. Then again, in this situation there might be some stressors from work, because this is the new situation for everyone. You might get stressed while you are working, because the situation is developing, everything is developing. This is new to all of us. So do not go and eat whenever you are stressed. Stay focused on your regime, your exercise. Whenever you are getting stressed, again, as I've mentioned earlier, talk to a friend, identify what will soothe you and calm you down, and maintain that regime. Thirdly, I would like to say, whenever it's a diet, don't take it as a diet, rather take it as small habits, so that your overall lifestyle improves. Rather than going for one particular diet which you are following for 5 to 6 to 7 days, go for a healthy habit like hydrating, like drinking water for like 10 to 15 glasses of water if you're drinking 6, again drinking water or having 3 servings of fruit throughout the day. These are more sustainable habits, and it will help you in the long run, even when COVID is over, even when you are in your normal lifestyle. Just don't get fixated on a diet and an activity regime. Customize it according to you, address it, and then move forward with it. So I thank you, Max Life family, for joining me for this session. I hope this was a very informative session. Stay fit, stay healthy with your family, because you are the difference.